Have you ever wondered why the world is carved into countries? Why do borders exist? And what makes a nation a nation? Today on Real How, we're embarking on an epic journey to uncover how countries are formed, diving deep into the concept of nation-states. From ancient agreements to modern revolutions, we'll explore the forces that shape our world. So buckle up for a ride through history that'll leave you amazed at the stories behind the maps. Let's start with the basics. What is a nation-state? A nation-state is a country where most people share a common culture, history or language, and the government has full control over its land. Think of it as a giant community with its own rulebook. People celebrate the same holidays, speak the same language, or share a sense of belonging, all under one flag. Take Iceland, for instance, where nearly everyone shares a Viking heritage and the Icelandic language. Or look at South Korea, united by its unique culture and history, despite its small size. Even countries like Canada, with its English and French-speaking populations, forge a national identity through shared values like multiculturalism. But not every country is a perfect nation-state. Some, like Nigeria, with its 250 ethnic groups, balance incredible diversity within one state. Compare this to other systems. Ancient empires like the Persian or Mongol empires ruled vast, diverse lands without a unified culture. City-states like Venice in the Middle Ages or modern Monaco focus on a single city. Nation-states, though, aim to match a cultural nation with a political state, creating a sense of unity that's both powerful and complex. How did we get to this system of nation-states? Let's rewind the clock to find out. The idea of nation-states didn't appear overnight. It evolved over centuries, with roots stretching back to medieval Europe. One early milestone was the Magna Carta in 1215, which limited the English king's power and gave nobles a say in governance. This planted the seed for the idea that authority could be shared, not just dictated by a ruler. Fast forward to 1494, the Treaty of Tordesillas divided the New World between Spain and Portugal, showing how agreements could define territorial control. But the real game changer came in 1648 with the Treaty of Westphalia, which ended the 30 Years' War in Europe. This treaty introduced state sovereignty, the idea that each state could govern its own land without outside interference. It was a revolutionary shift, moving the world away from empires and toward independent states. Before Westphalia, loyalty was often to local lords, religious leaders, or empires. The concept of a nation-state, where people identify with a larger cultural group, was still forming. The French Revolution of 1789 turbocharged this idea. It wasn't just about toppling a monarchy, it spread the radical notion that citizens, not kings, should shape their nation. This sparked nationalism, the belief that people with shared language, culture, or history deserved their own state. The Congress of Vienna in 1815, after Napoleon's defeat, redrew Europe's borders to balance power, further solidifying the state system. These events, from the Magna Carta to Vienna, built the foundation for the nation-states we know today. Nationalism is the heartbeat of nation-states. It's the idea that a group of people, united by language, culture, or history, should have their own country. Nationalism can inspire unity, but it can also ignite conflict. In the 19th century, nationalism united fragmented regions. Italy, led by Giuseppe Mazzini and Giuseppe Garibaldi, became one nation in 1861. Germany, under Otto von Bismarck, unified in 1871. But nationalism also fueled tensions, contributing to World War I and II as nations clashed over territory and pride. Today, nationalism shapes debates, from Scotland's independence movement to the rise of populist leaders. As scholar Benedict Anderson put it, nations are imagined communities. People feel connected, even if they've never met. So, how do countries actually come to be? There are several paths, each shaped by unique circumstances. Some countries are born through independence, where people fight for self-rule. The United States declared independence from Britain in 1776, setting a global example. Ireland's struggle against British rule led to independence in 1922, though it came with the partition of Northern Ireland. Others formed through unification, merging smaller regions. Germany's 1871 unification brought together 39 states. Vietnam, divided by war, unified in 1975 under communist rule after decades of conflict. After World War II, decolonisation created dozens of new nations. Nigeria gained independence from Britain in 1960, becoming a federal state despite its ethnic diversity. Kenya followed in 1963, led by Jomo Kenyatta, navigating tribal tensions to build a nation. Some countries emerged through partition, splitting one land into two. The 1947 partition of India and Pakistan, driven by religious differences, reshaped South Asia. Sudan split into Sudan and South Sudan in 2011 after a referendum, ending years of civil war. Treaties or wars can also create countries. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 birthed nations like Poland. The breakup of Yugoslavia in the 1990s, after ethnic conflicts, created new states like Croatia and Serbia. Each path shows the creativity and struggle behind nation building. Let's zoom in on 3 stories to see how this works. Let's explore 3 countries with unique journeys to nationhood. The United States began as 13 British colonies, united by a desire for freedom. In 1776, leaders like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson declared independence, sparking the Revolutionary War. Victory came in 1783, but building a nation was tough. The Articles of Confederation failed, giving states too much power. The 1787 Constitution, with its Bill of Rights added in 1791, created a federal system balancing national and state authority. This model inspired democracies worldwide, though challenges like slavery tested its unity. India's story is one of resilience. After nearly 2 centuries of British rule, India won independence in 1947, led by Mahatma Gandhi's non-violence and Jawaharlal Nehru's vision. But independence brought partition, dividing India and Pakistan along religious lines. India became a secular state with a Hindu majority, while Pakistan was a Muslim homeland. The partition displaced 15 million people and caused widespread violence. India's 1950 constitution embraced diversity, recognizing 22 official languages and protecting minority rights, making it a global model for pluralism. South Africa's path was marked by division and healing. In 1910, British and Boer territories formed the Union of South Africa, but apartheid, a system of racial segregation, excluded the black majority from power. Aedes aegypti mosquitoes. Resistance grew, led by Nelson Mandela and the African National Congress. After decades of struggle, apartheid ended, and in 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections. Mandela's presidency and the Truth and Reconciliation Commission fostered unity, though economic inequality remains a challenge. Building a nation-state is like assembling a puzzle, with pieces that don't always fit. Countries face many challenges. Ethnic diversity can strain unity. Nigeria's 250 ethnic groups create vibrant culture, but also political tensions. Canada's bilingual identity requires constant balancing. Border disputes, like Kashmir between India and Pakistan, spark conflict. Globalization, with organisations like the EU sharing sovereignty, challenges traditional state power. The EU's 27 members share a currency and laws, blurring national lines. Today, nation-states face new frontiers. The internet connects us globally, but nations remain key players in addressing modern issues. Cybercrime, projected to cost $10.5 trillion by 2025, threatens national security. The 2020 SolarWinds hack, linked to Russia, hit US agencies, showing the stakes. The Paris Agreement, with 195 parties, pushes nations to cut emissions. Leaders like Denmark excel in renewables while others struggle. COVID-19 exposed national strengths and weaknesses, with countries like New Zealand praised for swift action. Over 100 million people are displaced globally, with crises like Syria's pushing nations to balance borders and compassion. The EU's AI Act, set for 2025, regulates AI to protect citizens. Nations must navigate AI's benefits and risks. Despite these challenges, nation-states remain vital, balancing national pride with global cooperation. And there you have it, the incredible story of how countries are formed, from ancient treaties to modern challenges. Nation-states are more than lines on a map. They're stories of people, culture, and resilience. Each nation's journey teaches us about unity, diversity, and the power of human ambition. Thanks for joining us on Real How. If this journey sparked your curiosity, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more. Drop a comment. What's your favourite country's story? Or what topic should we tackle next? See you in the next adventure.